The NFL draft is right around the corner. So who are the Chicago Bears going to go ahead and select with that number 20th overall pick? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. Here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan and you are not subscribed to the channel, I highly suggest you do so, because I do talk a lot of Bears on this channel. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And guys, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Okay, let's get into it. All right, folks, so the draft is literally right around the corner. So obviously it's time to really dive deeper into all of the prospects and kind of who the Bears could potentially look to draft with that number 20th overall pick. So in previous videos, I had told you guys that, okay, this is kind of where I think the Bears are leaning in terms of position, but I never gave you guys players. So now let's talk about players, okay? So I've looked at a bunch of mock drafts. I've looked at a bunch of tape. I've just done my research, done my homework, so that obviously I'm prepared here. And taking a look at the Bears at the number 20th overall selection. There's always a chance the Bears could trade up, always a chance they could trade down. I explained that in the other video. And basically what I'll tell you here is this is under the assumption that the Bears stay at the number 20th overall pick. Okay? No trades, nothing. Assuming they stay at 20, who do I see the Bears taking? First and foremost, it's not going to be a quarterback. All right? So the cat's out of the bag. I believe all the quarterbacks that are worth taking in the top 20 are going to be all taken up before the Bears select and go ahead and take their pick. All right, we all know the five big names, if you will: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance. Okay, I don't think any of those guys last till number 20. And if they do, then obviously that could, change things, and the Bears could potentially look to draft one of them. But assuming all the quarterbacks are gone, this is what I believe is realistic at this point for the Bears at number 20. And taking a look at all the mock drafts, what all the experts have, kind of mocked the Bears to take at 20, I've narrowed the list down to about 6 players, all right? And it's 3 positions and 6 players. Remember I told you in the other video, I believe they're going to go ahead and take an offensive lineman because it's a position of need. It's a safe pick and kind of, where you can't really get too criticized for it, right? And you're not reaching. And it's, again, a position of need. Well, there's other positions of need, which has been apparent now this offseason due to some of the moves, right? Kyle Fuller gone, we need a cornerback. Wide receiver is another position of need all of a sudden, even though we tagged A-Rob, Anthony Miller is on the trading block, so we might need a wide receiver. And A-Rob's only here potentially for another year, so after that, then what? So here are the players, let me show you guys, that I believe are most likely going to be one of the picks that the Bears make. So the 2 wide receivers I've narrowed down are Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman. I'll go through these guys in depth in just a second here. The offensive lineman, Tevin Jenkins, Elijah Vera Tucker, and then the cornerbacks, we've got Greg Newsome and Caleb Farley. So I believe there is a very good chance that when it comes to the Bears and that number 20th pick, it is going to be one of these 6. All right? Based off of everything I've seen, all the research I've done, I have a pretty good hunch it's going to be one of these 6. If it's not, and it very well could be, right? I would be very shocked, but I believe it is going to be one of these 6 picks. And I'll tell you kind of where I'm leaning right now. All right, actually, real quickly, before I tell you where I'm leaning towards with the Bears take, let me tell you a little bit about these prospects. So the 2 wide receivers, Kadarius Toney from Florida and then Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. They're 2 very different receivers. All right, Kadarius Toney, 6 feet, 193 pounds. He's a slot receiver, so he would be a great replacement for Anthony Miller, right? A great slot guy, a great route runner, tracks balls, makes catches outside his radius. You love that about him. When we take a look at Rashad Bateman, he's an outside receiver, right? He's got more size in terms of being able to, have that NFL-ready body, if you will. And he is a guy who I would compare to like a Michael Gallup, if you will. I'm not saying he's the biggest guy or anything. He's still, 6'1", like 190, I believe. But great combination of that speed and that size. And again, we're talking about an outside receiver. So Both of these guys, even though they're receivers, they're completely different receivers. Now, as far as the Bears, we've got A-Rob, who can kind of do it all. Anthony Miller's the slot guy. He could be gone. And then we've got, obviously, Darnell Mooney, who's a deep threat, but he's also versatile. So you can kind of go in either direction, right? So that's why I say it could be either one of these guys. All right, let's take a look at the two offensive linemen I talked about. So Tevin Jenkins, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State, massive dude, 6'6", 320 pounds. He's athletic. He's got the potential to play both sides of the line, so you love that versatility there. And then Elijah Vera Tucker, he's a guard, still also a massive guy, 6'5", 308, obviously, wide body, powerful hands, great core strength, plus in pass protection, and very solid as a run blocker. So both of these guys, I believe, are solid. In terms of who's got a better grade, when you take a look at, NFL.com and these sites that rank these guys, Elijah Vera Tucker has a grade just literally 0.1 ahead, 6.43 compared to 6.42 for Tevin Jenkins. So it's very close. And then finally, the two cornerbacks, Greg Newsome from Northwestern, versatile, good in cover three, quarters press, man, above average tracking the ball. Obviously, he's a local kid, grew up in Chicago, I believe, or he's from Chicago. That's what it says. And obviously went to Northwestern. Shout out to my alma mater. And then Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. Great size for his position, 6'2", 197 pounds. Physical attributes to even cover tight ends. You love that about him. And he's got great ball skills and good straight line speed. So all of these guys, obviously very talented. In terms of where I'm leaning, I believe still I would go offensive lineman here. Probably a guy like a Tevin Jenkins to me. But don't be surprised if the Bears go wide receiver. I think that's what's going to happen here. We took a corner last year in Jalen Johnson. That's why I'm thinking they probably won't take corner again, even though it is a position of need. But my hunch says we take a offensive lineman. Tevin Jenkins would be my guess. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a wide receiver like Rashad Bateman or Kadarius Toney. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.